Okay, I'm just gonna shamelessly do this. My name is Dana. I've been a model for about 9 years. I have a marketing degree. I also have a certification in front end development. I can speak two other languages. I'm currently living in London and I've been applying for jobs for over 6 months and zero responses. So if anyone knows anybody hiring, I'm more than happy to send my resume. But it's a tough journey out there, so if anyone's going through this, you're not alone. And that's it. I hope you all have a fantastic day.
Do you know what actually really gets on my last nerves? These job applications, like, what the hell? I spend hours, I'm not even joking, hours on applications, on even just like one application, because apparently putting my CV isn't enough. They want more information. They want me to rewrite my education history. They want me to rewrite my employment history. I'm doing all of this. I'm rewriting cover letters like specific to your jobs. I'm changing my CV specific to your job role. And you don't even have the decency to respond to my application. Not even a rejection email, just pure ghosted. Like, at least if I get rejected, I know that you've probably not even seen it, but you've at least seen my name and that my application has come through and you've just rejected me. But to ghost me and not even give me a response, that shit hurts.
Hey guys, so I'm in my fifth year of medical school in Plovdiv, Bulgaria, and I'm coming to that stage of my studies now where I'm thinking about my career post-graduation, post-studies, and seeing the job market in the UK right now is very, very humbling and very, very scary, because as students who come to Eastern Europe study medicine all those years ago, we're now faced with the prospects of not finding a job as easily as we thought it would have been, which is a very, very scary thought and a very, very interesting position to be in, I'll say the least. But like, I remember when I was coming to Bulgaria, I was told, you graduate, you come here, you graduate, you're going to get a job like that. I'm talking to guys who graduated 2, 3, 1 year ago now, and they still ain't working. And I'm just like, hey, scary, very, very scary. So it's something that I would tell the people who are thinking of coming to Bulgaria, just look at the job market right now for doctors in the UK. It's not the best. It is not good at all. So have that in mind. Personally, I'm looking at alternatives. USMLE, AMC exam for Australia, going back to Ireland, lots of options. So I'm looking at my options because right now, just banking on the UK isn't the best option right now. And I encourage other medical students thinking of coming to Bulgaria, look at your options as well. Yeah. And also I would say, this is no shade to Bulgaria, but if you can take another year to apply to, the UK or something, take that year out. I think Bulgaria should be your last option. Even though the medical education here is very, very good, very, very good, honestly. I think the convenience of having a job kind of almost given to you if you study in the UK is a lot more beneficial and less of a headache for us IMGs.
I'm currently looking for jobs. I've been looking for jobs for months, and it's soul destroying. Like, genuinely, it is the most soul destroying, soul crushing. It's whatever the opposite of character building is. It's character destruction. Like, I think I definitely naively came into it thinking I'm gonna get hired straight away because I am great. Turns out I've not even got an interview. You spend hours on an application, days on application, then you don't even get an interview. The job market is a pot of piss.
The reason you don't have a job in the UK is because you are overqualified. We essentially have too many smart people, but not enough industries to employ those smart people. So when we were kids, we were all pushed into higher education, or at least we were incentivized to go into it. We learned these skills, we got our degrees, we got our qualifications, but there's not enough industries to employ us. Now, you'd think companies would take advantage of this and say there's a gap in the labor market. We can start up these companies and have cheap labor because there's not a lot of people employing these individuals, so they'd be willing to work for less. But the UK is so anti-business that it's not even worth doing that. It's still better to just set your companies up abroad and then bring the UK workers to move there, which is why the UK is losing more millionaires and more skilled people than almost any other country per capita. I can say from personal experience, if I know someone who's recently graduated, I'm talking within the last 6 months, and they actually find a job in the field that they studied in, It's abnormal. It's a shock. It's a massive achievement. That should be the norm, and it is the norm in almost any other country. Most countries are desperate for these skilled, highly educated workers. We have too many of them. We have so many that our industries just don't need them anymore.
How is everyone finding jobs? And more importantly, how are people finding jobs in a career that they weren't previously in without experience? Yet when I try and do the same, regardless if it's a job I've experienced in or something new, it's a rejection within the first 30 seconds. I applied for a job the other day and it was posted, I think at the time it said 50 minutes ago. And by that time, there'd already been 120 applicants. So it's getting to the point where you don't even have time to tailor your CV to that job, because by the time you've tailored your CV properly and sat and done it properly, there's going to be another 100, 200 people. And I saw a content creator on here basically saying that they're not even looking at CVs past the 100 applicant. So you need to literally see these jobs as they come up, apply for them in the first 30 seconds, or you don't even get a look in. I just want to sell pictures of my feet for like $3,000 a month. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, and I'm also asking for people to actually respond to you rather than just leaving you on red for 6 weeks and then responding saying, sorry, you were unsuccessful. Tell me in the first week or two.
Man, I'm just in a place right now where I just want to quit my job. But then there's the other half that's like, if you do that, you know, where you gonna have money coming from? And then there's that other half that's just like, bro, like, God has given you many gifts, many talents, and what's for you is for you, and that he will provide. Like, there's just both of these thoughts that are just in my head, and I had to take a break outside. Like, I'm like, bruh, what do I do? Cause it's like, I was off Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I had got Monday and Tuesday off because it was my wife and I's anniversary. So I was off 5 days. And those 5 days, my wife and I had fun. But not only did we have fun, but like, we were actually making moves, you know, and it felt good because we haven't really done that in a while. So like, now I'm just in a mindset of like, I'm on go now, but I'm at work. So it's kind of like, it feels like it's a hindrance to my purpose. Like, it feels like it's hindering my creativity to do things. Like, I don't know.
If you're thinking about quitting your job, here's everything you need to know. There are a ton of unspoken rules, especially if you don't like your boss or the company. There's a high likelihood if you're not happy, they probably aren't happy with you either. So here's how you're gonna handle it. You're gonna give your notice 2 weeks before your new job starts. You're gonna set up a 15-minute meeting with your manager. And here's what you're gonna say. For a little bit now, I've been realizing that my values and where I'm spending my time may be better off at a different company. I've really enjoyed XYZ, but I've been looking for an opportunity with more upward mobility, and it seems like I'm not able to do that here. This shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to you, but this will be my formal 2 weeks notice. I know there's things that we all could have done better here, but ultimately I'm still grateful for the experience. Please let me know how I can help in this transition. By doing this, you're acknowledging the elephant in the room, being respectful that there's going to be a gap and you're going to try and help. And hopefully this will let bygones be bygones.
Am I the only one who wants to just quit my job? Maybe buy a minivan or buy an old car and just hop in the car and just simply travel and just see the world, man? Like, am I the only one who simply just wants to see life and experience life and not be caught up in this rat race for the rest of my life? You know, we pay bills, we pay taxes, and we work hard, and we bust our behinds for these jobs, but it's like, is that it? We just work, pay bills, pay taxes, work, pay bills, pay taxes, sit in traffic. Is that it? Is this all there is to life? I can't be the only one who sits back and wonders sometimes, like, this is not, like, this can't be real life. Like, it's no way. We were sold a lie. The American dream is a lie. It is no way it should be this difficult to survive in the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is incredible to me. I don't understand. So sometimes I think, man, I just want to quit, hop in the car or hop in the minivan or something and just travel. Like, I mean, life is going to pass us by anyway. What do we got to lose? And I'm not saying let's just have a mass walkout at our jobs. I mean, if it happens, it is what it is. But it's just like, there has to be something more than this, right? It can't just be work, pay bills, pay taxes, right?
Anybody randomly quit their job before without any backup plan? Yes, me, like 4 times, because I am the queen of quitting my jobs. And here is what I've learned. Most of us who do this thing are doing it to protect our peace for our mental health, because you can't just stand working in a toxic work environment. But have you thought about how not having a job, not having any money is also going to affect your mental health? Like, that really is difficult, especially if you have to move back home or things like that. That is going to affect you mentally too. So here's what I would advise you if you hate your job and you really, really want to quit. Don't quit without a backup plan. Don't do that. Don't do that thing, right? What you want to do is find something that you are passionate about and that you love and that can make you money, and start doing that thing while you are working at your job. Will it be hard? Yes. Will you struggle and have to work in the evenings and on weekends? Yes. But that is the best way to make sure that you are not leaving your job just to end up in a worse situation without having any money. So start that side hustle, passion project thing, make money from it, replace your salary with that thing.
I finally did it, you guys. I quit my corporate job. I have been working for corporate America for more than 7 years, and this is officially my first weekend being stress-free, happy, liberated. All I can say is that I am extremely grateful to have this platform and to be able to create and just be happy. I was not happy where I was. My mental health was declining and I needed to make a change. Am I scared? Yes. But I'm hopeful. And I'm excited. I'm excited to create more content. I'm excited to make more singing videos and start prioritizing this platform, because I was not consistent because of that job. And that's going to change. So come with me on this new journey. You guys are finally going to be able to see a new version of Daisy. And I have a feeling this summer 2025 is going to be a good one. Los quiero. Mwah.
I'm gonna just keep it a bit 100, bro. Listen, working for these jobs is not in 2025, yo. Seriously think, bro, you're not getting no benefit from the job. They be like, oh, you making money, this, that, the third, but what's the true benefit that you're really seriously making from it? You got to think, bro, all these boomers and all these older people saying, oh, get you a job, get you a 401k, get you this, that, the third, bro. I'm not gonna be burnt out by the time I'm 35, 40, 50, 60. I'm not doing that, yo. Straight up, especially for a job that could come in one day and be like, oh, we got to cut you loose. Oh, we got, cost of business, this, that, the third. No, hell no. This is one thing I respect about people who's waking up, bro. They waking up to a lot of the BS, bro. That's out here with these damn jobs, bro. I literally witnessed somebody who was at a job for 27 years and they let go like it was nothing, bro. Due to job costs, this, that, the third, and BS. You gotta think about it. Your job and you making money is in the palm of somebody else's hands. Why would you want to live like that? Nobody want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. You shouldn't want to live like that. Nobody want to live like that. Not being scared to start over. Don't be scared to start over. Do what you think is right, bro. Cause I'm telling you, bro, these jobs will get rid of you in a heartbeat, bro. You gotta think. They're already ready to replace you like that.
So I just put my 2 weeks in at my job. Part of me is sad, but part of me is really excited. I am so nervous for what is to come, but I'm also really excited. And I've been contemplating this decision for a really long time, but I really think it's what is best for me now. And I really want to take the time to focus on myself and my content creation. And I also have a small business that I closed down, but I want to start up again. Some of you may or may not know, but my small business is creating resin art, and it's called Resin by Vanessa. So I'm really excited to start that up again. If you've been contemplating quitting your job, putting your 2 weeks in, take this as your sign. It is really scary, but I've had this on my mind for a long time now, and I feel like because I've been thinking about it so much, I should really just do it. And I decided that today was the day. And I've quit before to focus on my business and I failed. But really, how do you succeed if you don't fail first? So I'm willing to give it all I've got. I'm gonna work really hard. And we will see where this new journey takes us. I'm still gonna try and pay off my debt. I'm gonna be a lot more active on here, and I hope that you continue to follow me on this journey. I'll be posting the best deals, and hopefully I start my business back up ASAP. I'm really excited about that, actually. I'm so excited, but so nervous, so nerve-wracking. So we'll see. And again, if you've been contemplating on quitting, this is your sign.
So today I put in my 2 weeks at my first big girl job, and I feel horrible. I'm not gonna lie, like that was one of the scariest things I had to do in life, but I had to face my fears and muster up the courage to tell them that I'm not coming back. And it ain't nothing wrong with the company. I just got a better opportunity, and you know, I had to put me first. But damn, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel like shit. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't like letting people down. Like, I don't like having those hard conversations. I don't like leaving people in the dust. Like, I just really have a hard time letting go of, like, you know, situations and stuff. But I know what's on the other side is greater for me. So I just gotta be uncomfortable for a minute. But how do y'all navigate leaving a job, especially like if you really love it, but you know, sometimes you gotta move on. Everybody quit their job. Honestly, that's why I keep trying to tell myself, like, everybody quit their job. Everybody go through this. But how do y'all navigate these types of situations? Because I'm stressed out.
If someone asked me what is the best thing I did for myself and my mental health, it would be take a sabbatical. Some people call it unemployed. Some people call it taking an adult gap year. But take a break from working. It'll change your life forever. I quit my job June of 2022, and I just started working January of this year. And when I tell you, everyone needs a break. Y'all have to understand, we have been doing this for a very, very long time. To pull back, your body is going to go through so much. You can do whatever you want with your sabbatical. The only thing I wanted to do really was rest. I did do a little bit of traveling. I spent a lot of time with family and friends, spent a lot of time with my son, just being home all the time. It was such a nice little break. Currently, I'm already making my plan for my sabbatical for 2027. So I'll tell you what's the secret to saving up the FU money to finally quit your job. Number one, I feel like becoming debt-free helped me. I was debt-free the first time. I'm going to be debt-free the second time thanks to bankruptcy. You can't pay off debt. It's not a big deal, but I will say pay up some of your bills. I paid up my phone bill for 2 years. I paid up my car insurance for 6 months. And last but not least, you're going to have to be on a strict budget now so you don't have to be on a strict budget later. I wasn't playing. Don't overspend. You might have to miss out on some stuff, but that's okay. You got a bigger goal in mind.
Can we just, talk about how difficult it is to get into the UK jobs market right now? Is it just me, or is it stupidly hard to get contracted employment? All my employment's agency anyway, so I don't normally have to worry about this, but as an experiment, I applied for a weekend job. I'm not going to name the shop, but it was just stacking some shelves, and the application process was ridiculous. Ridiculous. So you had to do 2, assessments, and one was the equivalent of a personality test that took half an hour to do, and the other one was some sort of situational test, in which quite a few of the answers were quite similar anyway. And then that doesn't even get onto the application form, in which you have to write almost the equivalent of War and Peace. I mean, I got ChatGPT to do it, because it would have taken me over an hour to do. How is anyone employed? How is anybody in contracted employment? And that's just for stacking some shelves. If it's a skilled role, I get that, but stacking some shelves? And you're requiring all that? Should just be your CV. I'm sorry, guys, it should just be your CV for me. I saw something the other week in which the government's apparently bamboozled because there's 10 million people who are economically inactive. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If that's what it takes to get into employment, I'm not surprised. I mean, I understand for a skilled role. I mean, if you're going for like a director or something like that, yeah, but I mean, they call it low-skilled work. It's not low-skilled work. It's actually quite high-skilled work. But, you know, for low-skilled jobs like that, it should just be your CV. That's why all my employment's agency, because it's so much quicker and more efficient, and you don't need all this stuff. You really don't need all this stuff. Like, not being snobby, but I have a degree in business, right? I've been studying business at university. I can teach you all about investing and cyclical trading, dip trading, social trading. I can teach you about the macroeconomic policy and where the price of Bitcoin is going. Yeah, no problem. But I can't do that. Like, even that, and it's not even just me. I know, like, career professionals, PhDs, and my friend's mother's even a lawyer, my uni friend's mother, and even she struggles. Apparently she can't get in either. I don't know, let me know in the comments if anybody's watching this, but for me it's just ridiculous to try and get into employment in the UK. It's stupidly hard.
UK honestly does international students so dirty, and it's crazy to me that I graduated 10 years ago from the University of Edinburgh and fought so much to get my first sponsored role out of uni, and even now with the graduate visa we are still seeing so many international students coming to this country, contributing to the economy, paying for those universities, and still having to go back to their home country because they're just not equipped to land that first entry-level role, or even if they do land that role with sponsorship. And I just want to talk about this job market as a whole before giving you guys some pointers on exactly what you need to be doing to make sure you actually land that first job straight out of university. So look, I won't sugarcoat it. The job market right now does not favor graduates. I mean, you're seeing 86 applicants per role, which is a 23% increase in the last year. And that isn't exactly a job market that screams, hey, we want entry-level talent. But there are things you can be doing early on in your time at university or once you graduate to actually help you land that first role. And a lot of it comes down to your strategy and how you identify exactly the types of roles that you are qualified for and fight to get those roles. I've seen it happen within the migrates community. Graduates do land jobs, they land sponsored jobs as well, but they have to commit, like you have to commit 110%, like more. You have to commit 110 million% to this process because it's all consuming and you have to fight for it. But that is what needs to be done, especially if you want to land a job in this job market as an entry-level hire. So I don't want it to be all doom and gloom. We are hosting a webinar session with Michael Horrigan, who is a UK employer, and he is the founder of a platform called GradWorks, which is free to use, and it showcases jobs for early stage talent and kind of internships, apprenticeship, graduate schemes, so that grads can actually take advantage of it. Of course, not all of those will sponsor, but you can also use the migrates job board to cross-reference and see if those companies will actually sponsor, and just look through our job board in general because it does show jobs from companies that have a license to sponsor, and we also have filters where you can see if they're more likely to sponsor as well. So I'm super excited to be hosting this webinar with Michael tomorrow at 7 p.m. within the migrates platform, and if you're interested in joining, all you got to do is go on the link in my bio, sign up to the migrates platform free trial us out for a week, quit if you'd like, I don't mind, but basically just join this webinar because it is going to be super insightful about the graduate job market as a whole, and that will also help in kind of supercharging and giving you that advice and feedback that you need at the stage of your job hunt. You can also comment grad below and we'll send you the link so that you can join, but this is one of my truly favorite topics to discuss because I really love helping people understand themselves a bit more and also what they need to be doing early on in their journey in order to make sure that they land that sponsored job. Because when I was at uni, we didn't even have the graduate visa, and I started this a year into my time at university. I started my hunt then.
So I spoke to a recruiter earlier today and they told me the job market in the UK is dry. As in they're barely getting jobs from organizations, and what they're finding is people are having to apply for roles that they know that they are overqualified for. So that's leaving people that are trying to get jobs at their level jobless, because ultimately the organizations are giving the jobs to people that are overqualified because to them it's better value for money. And it just had me looking in the direction of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship and thinking, you know what, fair enough. As crazy as the stats are around starting a business and the difficulties around that and how many fail, once you get to a certain point, you get out what you put in. You might be applying for 100 jobs in a week, and as much effort as you put in, there are 1,000,001 reasons why you might not get that job. Apart from that, in some jobs, there are no pathways for promotion upon exceeding your work or doing above and beyond what you're tasked to do. You have to apply for the job like any other Tom, Dick and Harry. No wonder you hear these terms like silent quitting or people actually resigning or saying they can't be asked for 9 to 5s and things of that nature, because when do you actually see the rewards of your labor? On the whole, minus banking, I'm yet to meet a lot of people that are super enthusiastic about their job and how much they're getting paid and how everything is structured. Maybe it's time to put some energy in your passion and see where that takes you.